Within Five Nights at Freddy's franchise, thanks to its lore, hidden clues and storytelling, one intriguing theory that has emerged centers around Gregory, the young protagonist of Security Breach. While Gregory initially appears to be a child trapped overnight in the Mega Pizzaplex, a portion of the fan base believes that he is really an animatronic. This theory is fueled by various in-game hints such as Gregory's unusual abilities and his lack of official records. I suspect Gregory is an animatronic and one serving a very important purpose. Several clues in Security Breach support the theory that Gregory may not be a typical human child. One of the most notable is the disrupted vision whenever Vanny is nearby. The screen glitches and distorts in a way similar to how animatronics experience interference, suggesting that Gregory may share some mechanical traits. Additionally, Gregory bears a striking resemblance to the crying child from the fourth game, leading some fans to speculate that he could have been built or replicated version of his character, possibly even retaining fragments of consciousness. Further fueling the theory is the clue that Gregory has no official record, no last name, no parents, no indication of how or why he ended up in the Mega Pizzaplex. These mysterious gaps in this background raise questions about his origin and whether he is even truly human to begin with. Further back in the past, Henry Emley, one of the original founders of Fredbear's Family Diner, played a pivotal role in the desperate attempts to bring back his daughter, Charlotte. This decision to merge the advanced robotics with human soul and consciousness was born from grief, but it set off a chain of events with lasting consequences. By introducing the concept of machines that could carry memories, souls, or even personalities, Henry inadvertently laid the groundwork for a cycle of possession and reanimation that defines the series. In the novel trilogy, it's demonstrated the soul's attachment with artificial life. One of the most emotional elements is Charlotte's bond with her favourite doll, Ella, a delicate dress-wearing figure that resembles the young girl. After Charlotte's death, it is implied that the soul becomes connected with Ella, and later transferred into the animatronic version of herself created by her father. This animatronic, Charlie, is built to resemble and even replicate Henry's own daughter. The connection between Charlotte's soul, Ella, and the Charlie animatronic illustrates how deep emotional ties, especially those rooted in childhood, can serve as a conduit for spiritual attachment in the FNAF universe. Within the Fourth Closet novel, Elizabeth Afton plays the role in continuing her father's legacy. By the end of the story, it's revealed Elizabeth possesses deep knowledge of Henry's robotic creations, particularly the animatronic version of Charlie. Elizabeth ultimately takes control of the adult Charlie animatronic, uses it to manipulate those around her and further her own goals. Her ability to operate and repurpose Henry's technology suggests she not only understands how it works, but can potentially recreate them later on. Elizabeth's actions in the Fourth Closet hint at experimentation with haunted robots and the returning of original characters. In Secret of the Mimic, Edwin's groundbreaking inventions take center stage. Rather than relying on the supernatural elements of soul to bring machines to life, Edward's inventions of Stay Up Latte and Mycelial Man develop a system capable of constructing detailed behavioral profiles of real people. This technology allows animatronics to mimic human personalities, speech patterns, and emotional responses with eerie accuracy, effectively making them indistinguishable from actual humans in certain interactions. This marks a shift in the series' mythology, from spiritual possession to artificial intelligence, as machines no longer need to be haunted to act human, they simply need data. Edwin's invention suggests that future creations, like the Glamrock animatronics, may not need souls to feel real, they just need a program convincing enough. In the Tales from the Pizzaplex story Nexi, the Pizzaplex is revealed to have built a doll-making facility beneath the main complex, designed to manufacture lifelike companions for children. This factory serves as the origin for Nexi, a small animatronic doll created as part of a now-defunct line of toys. However, what makes Nexi's creation significant is that the programs used for her have remnants of corrupted software infecting the Mega Pizzaplex, possibly linked to earlier experiments with the Mimic program. As a result, Nexi exhibits disturbing behavior. During the story, Nexi goes to such lengths as to replace Astrid, Nexi's owner, with a child-sized animatronic doll. This would not have lasted long, as the following day at school, Astrid and Nexi take their seat. Nexi had replaced her human with a more compliant doll, Astrid, now a machine, wears Astrid's skin like a costume. Surrounding the events of 1983, I'd suggest that Crying Child's memories were extracted and transferred into the Fredbear plush, possibly as an early experiment in soul transfer. Following the traumatic event leading up to and including the bite of 83, where the crying child was injured by Fredbear, strange nightmare-like visions begin to haunt him. The Fredbear plush could have served as an early prototype for the transferring of memories, preserving the crying child's mind as his body recovers. The Fredbear plush, now potentially housing the crying child's memory, was quietly stored away in the depths of the Circus Baby's entertainment and rental facility. This hidden underground location was used to house decommissioned animatronics. Years later, Mike Afton, driven by guilt and desire to uncover the truth about his family's past, infiltrates the facility. There, he discovers the forgotten Fredbear plush, possibly recognising as his brother's. In the Tales from the Pizzaplex story Didophobia, subtle but significant details hint at Fredbear plush's presence. Although not directly mentioned by name, it's noted that a rabbit plush has taken Fredbear's place among the toy lineup, while the other toys remain consistent with those seen in FNAF 4. This switch implies that Fredbear, due to his importance, was kept close but deliberately withheld from use, possibly to prevent future damage or loss. The story centers around Rory, a child subjected to a fear-based experiment in a simulated bedroom, much like the crying child. Given Fredbear's history, it's possible he is nearby, drawing power from Rory's distress. This setup aligns with the long-standing theories that emotional energy, especially fear, can sustain certain animatronics. Rory experiences vivid, haunting simulations that closely mirror the crying child's nightmares from FNAF 4. Dark bedroom settings, stalking animatronics, and overwhelming fear, suggesting that they aren't entirely his own dreams, but one inherited from something else. This connection hints that Rory may be reliving the crying child's memories. Additionally, in the survival handbook, a mysterious figure who gave his name as Mike sketches the nightmare Fredbear, supporting the theory that Mike is also being haunted by those same memories. These shared dreams suggest that the crying child's pain has been preserved and continues to be relived long after 1983. In the game Fury's Rage, a lesser-known entry in the FNAF franchise, the final levels reveal the underground lab and a mysterious boss known as Dreamgeist. The Dreamgeist itself is a haunted entity, its head filled with children's toys and familiar characters, suggesting it is a physical manifestation of the dreams of childhood memories. This image relates to the crying child's past. Bringing these threads together, the theory that Gregory is a robot designed to hold the memories or even the consciousness of the crying child becomes increasingly plausible when considering the series' long-standing themes of memory transfer, emotional imprinting, and resurrection. If Fredbear plush once housed the memories of the crying child after the bite of 83, it's possible that this object was preserved and later embedded within Gregory as a core component. This would explain Gregory's survival instinct as well as his lack of records or identity. In this way, Gregory becomes the modern vessel for the crying child's experiences, now existing within the era of the Pizzaplex. Looking towards the future of the Five Nights at Freddy's narratives, one possibility emerges, that animatronic vessels seen throughout the series are merely temporary placeholders until a more perfect biological form can be created. In the story He Told Me Everything, a mysterious substance known as Phasgoo demonstrates the ability to mimic human beings in form, suggesting that one day could be used to create new bodies, artificial but flesh-like, capable of holding those old souls. This raises the idea that characters like the crying child, whose memories may reside within Gregory now, could eventually return not just as machines but in reconstructed living forms. Gregory, carrying those memories forward, may find himself drawn into the legacy of the Afton family, possibly allying himself with another Afton sibling. Together, they could be the key to unlocking the final phase of this long, tragic cycle, the rebirth of the past, not in metal, but made of flesh.